Welcome everyone to the channel Navigating Chabad. I am so excited to navigate Chabad, as in the Chabad system, together with you. So, a lot of my videos will be just me. I plan on also doing with other people. I'm very excited to explore these themes with you and can't wait to hear your feedback. Hopefully only positive feedback, constructive criticism, and the like. All right. So let's talk about Farbrengen. So, can't wait. So, Farbrengen. Have you ever came to Farbrengen where you're like very bored? And let me explain. So, Farbrengens, especially in yeshiva, especially yeshiva Ketana, where let's just say how it is. I mean, we know, but that you come, sit down together, maybe in a different setup as a classroom, tables together, and there's food. And okay, if you're Shear, probably won't have l'chaim, maybe you have wine, but that's not the point. And you have a mashpia, what you would call the mashpia, which will also be a topic, what I'm so very excited to speak about. And everyone just sits there quiet and listens to him. Now, that's beautiful, but from my perspective, and let me also make it clear that I'm not saying that I'm 100% right. This is what either I believe it's right, and please correct me if you have proof otherwise, sources otherwise, for anything I say, or if there's something you believe I should add. So, my personal opinion about this is that it's more like a shear just with food and l'chaim. And you have that. You have, and it's officially called a shear. I've actually, and I've experienced recently, and it's an ongoing thing. It's not so common, but it's definitely a shear. They call it a shear in the WhatsApp group. They say, come to the shear. And in the shear, you have the best food with good l'chaim. Everyone sits down and listens to it. It's a mimer in the Shabbos morning, and many more examples. But even I experienced that. So, how is that different? How are they calling the same? Like, you cannot. I don't think you can really. I don't think there's any difference between that and what a lot of people are used to and call a Farbrengen, especially in yeshiva. Where you have one person, I'm not going to repeat myself like what I said before. So therefore, I want to explain, to open your eyes, explore, navigate through this topic. So I believe there are three types of Farbrengens. And some Farbrengens this is what I really call a Farbrengen. One of the types is its own category. I'll explain when I get to there. And the third one, I'm just calling it Farbrengen because that's what everyone calls it a Farbrengen. But as I just said, it doesn't make sense to call it a Farbrengen because it's more like a shear. So actually, we'll go backwards. We'll start off. So as I just said, this type of style of Farbrengen, where basically one person speaks and everyone listens, people call that a Farbrengen, but it's really a shear, especially that, as I just said, the same format, people are calling it a shear. Okay. Then you cannot, I don't think, this is almost like a Xeris Akasov type of Farbrengen. The Rebbe's Farbrengen. So, and I believe possibly this is why people call the first type that I said, where one person speaks and everyone listens, they get it from the Rebbe's Farbrengen because the Rebbe was the one talking and everyone listening. Now, besides the fact of comparing yourself to the Rebbe, Mashpia, talking, whatever, but I think it deserves its own category. I mean, it's like a Farbrengen. What does Farbrengen mean? Farbrengen means bringing people together. So, yeah, technically you are bringing people together. So then why, as I just said before, there's that shear in the morning, Chassidut, and they call it a shear. They don't, and it's also with food and also one person talking. There's no difference. By the Rebbe, it was called a Farbrengen, because people did come together. And I mean, I don't need to explain, especially this is a channel, again, this, for those who are Chabad. I don't need to explain how it was. People know even better than me how it is. So that's, I would call it the second type of Farbrengen, which is definitely Farbrengen. The Rebbe called it Farbrengen, I believe, and but I believe what people really want and what's needed a lot more, like this is not just stam information. I believe, I mean, that's beautiful and important too, to just have a proper mindset and knowledge, but also as a practical application, I believe this third type of Farbrengen, which I can't wait to tell you and explain to you, is needed. So what is that? As they say in Yiddish, Tzuvishin, zich, amongst yourselves, which means that everyone talks, and there's no specific person running the show, although he could. So I want to take a step back, actually, that sometimes you have Farbrengens where the people, everyone speaks a little, asks questions, but that's like a shear. When you have one person mainly speaking and everyone's just like asking questions, that's still a shear. So a real Tzuvishin, zich, Farbrengen, there's no main person. And maybe like in yeshiva Ktana, when you're not used to, especially it's vulnerable and it's hard, so you have someone like a shliach. I mean, for a mashpia to do that, that's amazing. But shliach, because the shliach is like shliach in yeshiva, he's like in between the mashpia and the students, like very close to the students, so you can like, prep, like get them comfortable opening up. So like, but it's more like they themselves are doing it; they're just helping them do it. The main ones are the students, or like everyone. The point is, everyone's involved. And what are people talking about? That's also another difference. Not just they could be talking about. So I guess even this category could be divided up into two smaller categories. In that they can be talking, and this is what, unfortunately, I mean, it's everything's beautiful, but the last one I'm going to get to, I believe, needs to be a lot more. People need to understand that is a Farbrengen also, and then that should be, I believe, a lot more common amongst us. So the first type, if people actually do get together, especially in yeshiva, it's more common. It's like they're just talking about Advar Torah, and that'll be the topic in itself. Say Advar Torah. I'm very excited to talk about that, but not to get off topic. So the people just say, okay, I heard Rabbi Shmuel says in Gemara, or in Chabad as we say, the Rebbe says, the Fidik Rebbe says, and I heard from Mendel Futterfass and this and that. The Mendel Futterfass Chassidim in recent generations, they'll probably be saying, or even like just saying a stam story, But okay, so maybe sometimes you need that in order to get into, okay, like let's get real. Let's talk. Let's open up. So that's another topic of, starting with Chitzienis in order to get to the Pnimi. You start off with things that are surface level in order to talk about the juicy things, the things inside of you, like what's going on in your thoughts and your feelings. How's your life going? So you don't get straight into it. Yeah, I get it. Fine. So you can start off with the story. So that's how even the two categories, the smaller categories, actually are could intertwine. So I'm saying you have all types. You have types where they just speak about Dvar Teras. You have types where they actually people can get right away into. You can see very clearly it's all about people talking about their life. It's people more call it like a shmooze, not really Farbrengen. And then you can have intertwine where you start off with something more chitzania, surface level, and you say some l'chaim, and you get more comfortable to open up. So I pretty much said the second smaller category, which is that where people open up and they talk about real life issues. And there's open space. That's another. There's so many reasons why it's important. Just for a psychological reason, for people to, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, to just open up and talk about what's going on in your life. And spiritually, this is what I'm struggling with. Let's work. How can we fix this? Or even if it's just an idea, even if it's an idea that you're struggling with, and you can even but not just like, oh, I have a question in the mimer. Like, okay, maybe if that question, the mimer, leads to more a practical, what does that mean for me in my life? Help me with something I learned in Shar B'tachin. Like that's something like, okay, so how does that help me in my life? So that is lacking, unfortunately. This aspect of what I mean, mainly Bachrim, but it should be everyone. It's so important. It helps you in so many areas. So I've seen in yeshiva, it rarely happens. Even when it happens, a very few people, and even those few people that do it, how they do it properly, or how long does it go for? It's crazy. It's very, very small. I'm not sure where it says in the Gemara where the people who serve the Talmidei Chachamim learn more than the people who just are students from them. So I'm applying that idea. It's a very powerful, important idea where Farbrengens is, if it's, Farbrengens, even just for the Farbrengen is very important, but even more so that it helps you with your overall life. People, in yeshiva, people say that Farbrengen, like they don't put an emphasis on Farbrengens, and it rarely happens. But, especially these days, it's really, really needed. And when you have a good Farbrengen properly, like the last type of Farbrengen I was talking about, it really helps you in your overall life. Again, you can hear me talking about focusing on Bachim Yeshiva, but really this is for anyone Chabad, or even from. Yeah, so if only we can do those more, I think we'd be in a lot better place. All right, maybe there's more. I can make a part 2 on this. I'm very excited and happy. Can't wait for you to change people's lives and for the better. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions and email me. It's on the channel. And see you in the next video, or hear from you. And can't wait. All right, have a wonderful day.